Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Hit a bit of traffic on the way here. You know how it goes, 5 these days. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, let's think of some of the problems that are affecting the world today, okay? We've got global warming, the oil shortages, traffic on the interstate, thank you very much, and a food shortage affecting millions of people around the globe, okay? These events may not seem related to you, but to me, they're pretty much all the same problem, okay? And that's a problem that no one wants to address. The issue that I'm talking about is humanity, all right? The human race is destroying our planet. Not on purpose, we're not maliciously going out there, but our effect, just how many of us there are, we're sucking up all the resources, okay? Okay. When somebody takes something and doesn't give it back, I consider them a pirate, all right? For nothing in return, they are a pirate, all right? And there are currently 7 billion pirates living on the earth, freeloading off of it, and taking what's meant for everyone for just ourselves. And if we continue at this rate of growing and destroying our population, the human race is the only thing that's going to suffer. Everyone's favorite Vulcan once said that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. All right? And it's because of this that I propose that we need to trim the fat on the human race. It's time to make cuts to the team. All right? We can't go on doing this anymore. We need to start making a positive difference and cutting down the amount of people that are living here. And I have a plan how. I know there are many of you out there who may argue the morality of my undertaking, but science backs me up that this planet can't handle how many of us there are, and that soon we're going to start to see major repercussions of this fact, okay? From the research that I've done, I estimate that we need to eliminate 50% of our population in order to save the human race. This issue of overpopulation is not just a new discovery. Scientists have been preaching that overpopulation will become an issue for decades now. A. Bashford, in his journal on overpopulation, cites how the current world population as of 2008 is 6.6 billion. All right? In the early 20th century, scientists predicted that the catastrophe number, the point in which the human population would start to show drastic effects on the earth, their number was 3.6 billion. Currently, we are almost twice the catastrophe point, meaning we've been procrastinating this issue like we have been procrastinating English homework, struggling to finish it before the teacher collects it at the beginning of class. Drastic measures need to be taken. And that's not to say that every country has been procrastinating this issue. There have been some cases. China, for example, has implemented a one-child policy in order to slow the effects of overpopulation. Also, all their cities are so densely populated that they have to continuously build up. Many major cities do that, but China in particular. Hong Kong is one of the highest population densities of any city in the world. But China's one-child policy, going back to that, is implemented so a family is only allowed to have one child. It's against the law to have more, use protection. But this has found shaky results. It does appear that China has exaggerated the effects of their one-child policy. In his journal on the policy, Jay Zhang cites how in 16 countries with similar birth rates to China in 1970, the year in which China decided to enact this policy, all 16 of those countries decreased their birth rate over time, meaning that China's policy, statistically speaking, did not do much in terms of slowing down overpopulation, which means countries still are not doing enough to fix this glaring issue. You may say to me, Mr. Davidson, I love waiting in line for Space Mountain or driving through traffic. Besides, who would decide who lives and who dies? Would all the rich and powerful be safe? What about all the small factories or the small family-owned businesses that keep the economy up? What would happen to those? And how much would this cost anyway? 50% of the population. That sounds pretty huge, Mr. Davidson. I think we can manage. And to that, all I have to say is that the world's leaders are going to have a very fair and just system for deciding who lives and who dies. And as for the $760 billion of lethal injections, we're just gonna have Mexico pay for it, the American way. The human race is growing rapidly. We know how this affects our resources negatively. We can see that in rising gas prices and the fact that resources are becoming more scarce. We're using them just willy-nilly wherever we want to with no repercussions. But the one thing that's in the back of all your minds that I want you to bring to the surface is the thought of, and I know it's scary, but wouldn't it be good to thin the herd a bit? You know? Would you really miss the lady who drives for 3 miles with her left turn signal on without noticing? Or what about the kid who raises his hand and asks the question that the teacher just finished answering because he was on his goddamn cell phone? Okay? Awkward eye contact with homeless people? Gone. No more homeless people. Alright? No more awkward situations at a stop sign. Now, when your kid gets into a better college, because it's less competitive and there's less people applying, I don't think you're going to be losing a night's sleep over a kid in Tunisia who didn't meet the state or didn't meet the country's requirements and had to be lethally injected. I don't think you're going to lose a night's sleep over that. The benefits are too great. A leader once said, strength lies not in defense, but in attack. And we've defended the lowest of the human race for too long. And now it's time to attack the issue of overpopulation while we still have a chance. Now, eliminating 3.8 billion people is no small task, but luckily for the human race, I have a plan. People may question the morality of my plan, but is saving the human race not a moral endeavor? Now, firstly, we look at intelligence, intellect, measured in IQ, a very safe form of measuring intelligence. We know all about it. If a country has an average IQ of less than 85, gone immediately. By implementing an IQ standard, we get rid of every single African country except Morocco, Algeria, Libya, and Tunisia. Alright? Also, it opens up the Caribbean for some nice new vacation homes. Gets a little windy down there sometimes, but we can handle it. That's 1.2 billion people gone right there. Our job just became a whole lot easier. Now, there's still much work to be done, but as I said before, everyone has to die someday. And I think now would be a wonderful time for the old guard to shuffle on out of here and make way for a newer, younger, more promising generation that's ready to save the earth. If we eliminate everyone over the age of 65, there's another 650 million people at least gone. And if you're worried about overlap, we've decided to not hit the African countries again because that would just be cruel, and we don't want to do that. We're not cruel here, we're saving the world. Next, I decided it would be best to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and just eliminate China. Alright? That allows us to cut 1.4 billion names off of our to-do list and also remove some of that pesky debt that's been bothering us for years. Alright? And now, if we remove everyone who failed their driver's test at least one time, sorry mom, that leaves us with only 500 million people left to remove. With only 500 million more names to cross off the list, I thought of a quick fix to get rid of all of that. Our new world needs to be a safe place where people can live their lives freely and not have to worry about murder. If we eliminate every country with a murder rate of over 20, that takes care of all the troublemakers, making our new world a very safe place. Unfortunately, Mexico did not pass and are no longer able to fit the bill, but we will somehow have to find the money elsewhere. The sacrifice of these people will not be in vain. With the loss of their life, the human race will finally be able to give back to the earth with less focus on self-sustenance, we can look to improve and fix the many things that lay before the human race. World peace, maybe?